ship called the Queen Anne's Revenge at Fisherman's Terminal that you can rent. I think I've seen this boat like cruising around town before, once in a while. But if you see those little like black cannons on the rail there, those are water guns that you can shoot while you're underway out at other boats or just have fun with them. Queen Anne's Revenge. It looks like this fishing boat, the Lucas, has got a new deck on it. It looks like a screwless deck system, and I'm guessing the wood on that pallet there is the old deck on this boat. It looks like the Pacific Sojourn is some kind of like crab fishing. Maybe it's a Dungeness fishing crab boat or something like that. That piece of machinery right there, that's a block where they roll in the pots. Some kind of canopy they can put on the stern of the Sojourn. If you look right there, there's a crab hold there, or a fish hold for what they haul. And then there's another one right there. There's the crane to move the pots and stuff around the boat. And then that crane right there's their picking hook crane to pick the pots up. This boat right here called the Ursa Major looks pretty new compared to some of the boats that are around here. It's pretty snazzy looking. There's the bow of the Ursa Major. Looks like it's a pretty spacious wheelhouse on it. The stern of the Ursa Major. Looks like the M&M boat is a like a salmon tendering or tendering vessel, because it's got tendering gear on it and it doesn't exactly look like it's set up for being a crab boat, and there's also not that big of quarters for the crew and stuff. There's an area for the crew right there to do work and store stuff. There's a little cabin right there. This fishing boat called the Quandary right here. I had a family member fish on this boat a couple years ago. One of the original Deadliest Catch Boats right there called the Sea Star. She was on the first couple seasons of Deadliest Catch, and there she is, right there. She looks a lot different than originally on the show. She was black and I think kind of a yellowish white and green. Now she's got a black hole and a turquoise upper part of the Sea Star, and then the wheelhouse part of top of the wheelhouse is white. This fishing boat called the Satisfaction looks really cool. I've not really seen a fishing boat like this color of maroon and orange before, which makes it look really cool and unique. Gonna get some. That's what it says up top on the upper driving station of the Satisfaction. Here's the deck. Here's where they reel in the net for salmon, fish for the fish they catch. This boat right here is it's either used for research or an expedition boat to go look for shipwrecks or other things, or yeah, whatnot like that. That bar, they can hook up towing equipment to look for shipwrecks or whatever they're doing. There's a little crane they can use to haul more stuff behind it while searching for something. And then they can put like a little ROV or searching equipment on those bars there. There's a giant Manson working barge and crane right here. Normally these things are docked over on the Duwamish River on the south side of Seattle, Washington. Those tall poles there, those help anchor it in place when it's on a job site. These look like new telephone poles that they're going to use, or they'll use them for docks or something along that line. There's some big motors there to power parts of the barge and crane. Those must be controls and stuff too for parts of the machine here. Maybe to lift these these booms up. I don't know. This boat called the Westward Wind is getting some work done on its deck. It kind of looks like at one point it might have been a crab boat, but they might have converted it to a tendering boat. It's got a really tall wheelhouse. Those front bars you see on the front, those used to be for crab pots so they wouldn't smash into the wheelhouse or anything like that. There's tendering gear right there, and then you can see the deck being redone there. And then they've got a bunch of buoys. Looks like they added 4 cranes. There's 2 cranes there. 1 crane, 2 cranes there. That is the Westward Wind. There's the Labrador. It's got a really big crane on it. Looks like it can hold almost 4,000 pounds and can go about 40 feet. It's got a good sized container on it. You can kind of see a hold there. There's probably that other one up front, that rusty one. There's another one. Yeah. It's kind of funny that kayak is full of water. Pacific Star is a really big boat. It's really wide, and it's actually a pretty tall boat. It's got 4 cranes on it, and it looks like it is a salmon tendering or fish tendering boat. As you can see, it's really, really wide. This is one of the wider boats that you see around here. I mean, some of the trawling vessels are bigger, or are wide as well, but this one is really, really wide. We are just looking at the starboard side, and now we're looking at the port side of the Pacific Star. There's the bow and wheelhouse of the Pacific Star. As you can tell, it is a pretty tall vessel. This boat called the Impala, it looks like it's some kind of working vessel. It's got a flat deck, really no walls on the side except for the starboard side of it. Here's the Impala. It's got a container on it. Looks like it's got some like rubber and tires mounted on to a big floaty thing that they can use to help float boats or put on docks or something like that. As you can see, it's got a flat deck on it. It's from Petersburg, Alaska. Looks like they have a dock they can put out there if they need to. But yeah, that is the Impala. There is the stern of a former Deadliest Catch Boat, the Sea Star. It looks like she's getting ready for salmon tendering because they have salmon tendering gear on it. So there is the Sea Star, one of the OG Deadliest Catch vessels. Boat called the Barnoff, kind of looks like almost a little bit like the Wizard, but it's got a much taller wheelhouse. But it kind of does look like the Wizard and some of the steel on it. It's kind of got the same kind of rusting and oily look as the Wizard has. This one has a big spool of line on it, so I'm not exactly sure what type of fishing it does, or if it does fishing. But it looks like at one point the Barnoff was possibly a crab fishing boat at one point. I might be completely wrong, but I'm just assuming, and that's what it kind of looks like at one point. It might have been a crab boat or a processing boat. Right now we're at the stern of the Barnoff, and we were just at the bow of the Barnoff. That is the Barnoff right there. Where the Barnoff is docked, this is where that anchor handling tug was docked last year, the Secor Lee. There's the American Lady. She looks like she's a crab boat. Right now we're looking at the port side of the American Lady, and you can see the crane on the port side that they used to move the pots with. And it also looks like she got a brand new deck as well recently. And you can kind of see block that they used to haul in the crab pots on the starboard side of her. Right now we're looking at the starboard side of the American Lady. Boat right here called the Paragon is definitely a crab boat because there are crab pots on it. There's a crab hold there, there, and there. And then there's the block as well to haul in the pots. There's the Paragon crab boat.